Here we go.
The home card.
Shut up. Shit, man. First stream in a while. First stream in a minute. Let's get this refrag started. I'm talking about some things. Where's my notebook? What's my notebook at? Alright, give me a second. I'm looking for my notebook. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Can you see the wall? Maybe let's see the wall in the back. There we go. For Noble Team, man. For Noble Team. Shit on my desk. All right. I'm gonna go through the notebook. I'm gonna talk about shit. Actually, I'm gonna talk about shit I'm excited about first. And if you guys got questions, I'll answer the questions. I prefer to answer questions, okay? I definitely prefer to answer questions. Okay, let me turn this down. Nadar. Actually, hold on. I gotta wait till more people get in here, because... Alright. There's a smoke I want to talk about on Vertigo that JR showed me before he left the team. And I found an off-spawn lineup for it. Like, we were, like, theory crafting this shit. It's actually kind of nutty. I'll show it later when more people get in here, because I actually kind of want that shit to be known, man. It's kind of cool. But, yeah, dude. First stream in a minute. I guess, let me look at the notebook, see what there's to talk about. Actually, let me look at my phone, because I feel like I have better notes on my phone. Yeah, 1 second. Alright, go to Nadar. Un momento. Alright, let me look through my notes. I feel like there's some good shit to talk about. Actually, I should go back to the aimbots portion, because, bro, I had some like aim epiphanies lately, dude. Bro, my aim has been fucking going crazy. I'm actually like, dude, I'm getting nutty. Right, let me go back to the aim thing, because I had some epiphanies. What's it called? Warm up. All right, so you know how I've been like grind the fuck out of Kovacs and shit, and I had that last video. What was it like? Don't make the same aim train mistake I made before, something like that. Something about like aiming and how I like wasn't doing enough like in-game practice, but like against bots, and I was like missing out like the target recognition stuff. Bro, I had like another like recent aim epiphany that's like, I hit a crazy ass score because of it. But essentially, like, for the past, I don't know, I think forever, I've been like, it's been a couple months where like I learned that mistakes help you improve aim, right? Like, you want to make mistakes when you're aiming. And then I kind of just like took that and like ran with it. Or it's like, oh, you're supposed to make mistakes. So I just like kind of like would go crazy when I'm aim training. And I'd have like a 50-60% accuracy. And like I'm like noticing the mistakes I'm making, and like there's like slight improvement. But I was just going like too damn fast, you know? Like it made me like get like really good speed in my flicks and like when I would aim. But I'd end up like lacking the accuracy, and I wouldn't have like, I had like no target reading skills because I was like trying to be too quick. Like my whole goal of aiming for the past couple of months has just been just be fast, right? Just be fast as fuck. Just like just flick, 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 take those shots. And if you miss, then whatever, you miss and you make the mistakes, you learn from it, which is true. But I ended up seeing this video. I saw it first from I think his name's Lighthawk FPS or something like that. He's like an aim coach. And then I also saw Andrew Huberman talk about this. And I remember hearing Wes Proder talk about this a while ago, but I guess I must have forgot about it. But he was saying essentially that you learn like people when practicing a skill learn faster when they have an error rate of around 83 to 85%. And that means like missing like 17 to 15% of your shots is like the prime zone for like errors and learning. And what I was doing was just going super fast. And I was making errors in the speed. So like I'm still learning like how to be faster and like have more accurate flicks and stuff. But I wasn't like making errors in hitting my shot and like the micro adjust and the smoothing. Like I would have super fast flicks and I would try to like predict the micro adjust. I would like flick and then instantly try and micro adjust even before I saw where my crosshair landed. And I was like, man, I was like, because I thought like being 100%. Okay, I'm like going on a tangent, but essentially, I was going like super fast because I was under I was under the I don't know what the term of it. I was going super fast on aim train because I thought mistakes were good, which I mean they are, but I just like kind of went balls to the wall with it, and it would just make too many mistakes to where like my error rate was like a bit too high for prime learning, and so I saw that video and like how you should be like more accurate, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that for a bit, like work on my accuracy, and have like an error rate of only like 80%, and it was like impossible for me. Like it was literally impossible for me to like actually not miss because I like mastered the technique of like going too fast. I like pretty much sealed in stone like a bad aiming habit, and I had to like unlearn it and relearn how to flick and like read the target before I micro adjust because I would always flick and then instant micro adjust. Like this is an example. I'll try and do it like that. Like I'll just try and like just be super quick. And it's like, yeah, you probably win a lot of 1v1s doing that, but you only win the 1v1s with the shots that you hit because like you're faster than the other person, and it would just at the cost of my accuracy. So I had to like just practice like pausing after the flick and just actually read the target before. See, I'm like I still struggle with this, but like read the target before I micro adjust, like flick and then like don't miss. And like I made that advice before about how like you should make mistakes, but there's a time and place where like you actually should train your accuracy, and like your goal should be to be 100% accurate, because then the mistakes that follow because of that are like the errors that you make that you learn from. It's like there's certain things that you want to like try and achieve while you're aim training, and then the errors that come from you trying to achieve that certain specific like bottleneck is what makes you learn. And I like never tried to like, at least for the past couple of months, I never tried to achieve like good accuracy and then learn from the errors of trying to do that. I would just try and be fast and learn from the errors of trying to be fast. And it basically just made me have like a really bad aiming technique. But dude, I've been like working on that shit, and I hit like some crazy ass score on one of the Wes Proder scenarios. Like it was actually nuts. Like I think it was like number 7 out of like a couple thousand. I beat Dirty Dan. I don't know if you guys know Dirty Dan. It's like another main player, bro. But he's like really nuts with his aim, and I beat his score in there. Like oh my god, I went crazy. But yeah, that was like that was a pretty decent like aim epiphany I had recently. It was just like the pause and like actually read your target before you micro adjust. And it was like it's because I was always just so scared that I wasn't gonna ever be fast enough to like win a 1v1. So I'd try and like just work on speed only, and just be super fast. But you actually don't have to be that fast to win 1v1s. Like you have to be pretty fast, obviously. You have to be faster than your opponent, but accuracy is also important. Like you don't want to cost too much accuracy for the. You don't want to gain speed for the price of accuracy at like too much. Like then it's just not worth it anymore. You end up just losing 1v1s, and you'll know you have this problem. You'll know if you have the problem that I'm talking about, like with the aiming or just not being able to read targets. Is if like you get in games and like someone peeks you and like you just like flick and instantly spray and like try and like adjust the spray of your gun versus like flicking and then actually trying to hit the head and like being accurate. Like you have like trouble on pistol rounds or trouble with deagles because like that aim problem like causes that. That's just what I noticed. I think Dylan on our team has like a similar issue where he like super flicks and tries to be super fast, but it's at like the cost of accuracy, like I said. And I think like another mental thing you can see if like you're doing it wrong is like if you were to like know if you had like the bad aiming habit is like what I would do for moving targets. Like my technique before for moving targets was like if a target is moving, I would flick and then try and like micro adjust to where the head was and just be fast enough that like I beat the target moving versus flicking and then reading the target move and then following it and then hitting it. So you're more accurate. Like you don't want your shots to be like flicking on moving targets and then trying to hit it before it moves and like hoping it doesn't move. Like you should be able to actually like hit moving targets like pretty consistently. That's how you can tell if you have like the similar aiming issue. First ever 100 DAR open game. Oh, ADR. Oh hell yeah. Very cool to hear stuff like like the niche like aim type stuff. Yeah. 100 ADR. What team are you on, Kowalski? I wonder if I know the team or not. But yeah, dude, that was like the aim technique. It was just like I wasn't able to read targets, and I had to like teach myself to like just pause for like a slight second and like just focus on just don't miss. Like try your best to not miss. And if mistakes happen from you trying to not miss, like those are the learning at reps, you know? Versus like just being super fast and like letting certain like I don't know how to explain it, but like if you're like trying to do a specific thing, you're trying to work a specific task, like what your brain registers as errors is going to be different, right? So if you're trying to be fast and like one rep while you're trying to be fast is like you like this, you're gonna be like, okay, that was a bad rep. Like that was the error. So your brain's gonna fix that. It's like whatever you're focusing on, that's what your brain's gonna register as errors. And then whatever you register as errors is what your brain's gonna fix. And I just never focused on accuracy and learned from the errors of trying to be accurate, if that makes sense. And that just costed me like my target reading skills where I would like I knew I had a problem when I saw that thing about the 80% rule. You should try and be like 80% accurate for like prime learning. When I went into aimbots and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and be 80% accurate and like just do the 100 bots challenge, right? You do the 100 bots challenge, and in aimbots it tells you your accuracy when you do the challenge. I was doing this, I'm like, I'm gonna try and be 100% accurate. I literally couldn't. No matter how slow I tried, I couldn't be 100% accurate. It was like, damn, bro, I got an accuracy problem, and so I just been grinding the fuck out of it. And dude, it's made a huge difference. Like, oh, I'm so excited for the season, bro. Like my aim is actually about to be popping off. Academic Apes, new team. Okay, yeah, I don't think I know you guys. Is anyone on the team like in Maine or was in Maine? I wonder if I know the name or not. But yeah, that's just like one of the aim epiphanies I had. I wonder if like anyone else has like had similar issues. I know it's a decent problem, especially in the CS community where people are like too flicky and they don't have like good smoothing. Where it's like target reading. Like here, I'll show you an example of smoothing. If I can make these bots, let me go to aim bots. I'll show you an example of what smoothing is in like proper micro adjust. Remind me about EU IM team debut. Any tips for going versus 4K ELO players? I mean, I don't know. That's like a really broad question. What role are you playing? Here, I'll show you. Let me show you what I mean by the smoothing. So this is smooth. Like a lot of CS players, they'll see a moving target and they'll like flick and like try and like micro adjust and like where they last saw the target and like hope it hasn't moved. So it's like they'll be like that, like and like hope that they can hit it before it moves and be fast enough that they beat the moving. But like proper aim smoothing and proper aim technique is like flicking and then tracking it for like a half a second. So it's like, watch, I'll show you like you actually read the target. Like I'm doing it pretty better now because this is still like one of my bottlenecks. But like you flick. Damn, bro, fucking stop moving. You see, like I'm doing it pretty better now, but you see, like I'm reading the target, like I flick, and like I'm making sure like I'm hitting this thing, and it's like if you struggle with pistol rounds or deagles, like this is probably your issue. Is like you have bad smoothing, and you try and like flick and micro just too fast. It's like yeah, that works with rifles because you can fix your spray after you can fix your shot after you spray, but it's like when you only have one shot, like you gotta make sure your shot doesn't miss, and you might have an accuracy problem like I did. Very excited to watch the season. Appreciate that, bro. I'm excited to play this season. I'm really looking forward to this, dude. I think I think the team dynamic just works a lot better. No hate to JR or Nico. I think they're really good players. They're really good people. I'm still really cool with both of them. It's just I think that the way this team runs now is I'm just it's a bit different. It's a different pace than we had before. You're the star rifle of the team. Okay, so yeah, any tips, bro? Go crazy on Kovacs. Get that WPV routine going. Can't see their elo. Doesn't matter what their pug ranking because team C. Yeah, it is yeah, Whiskey's exactly right. But I mean, depending on your role, you know, there's some tips I guess I could give you. I mean, it still was like a really general question. If you had like some specific stuff, I obviously could help you with that. But if you're the star rifler, bro, go crazy in that WPV, bro. Go for it on the West Proter. People say I have smooth aim, but honestly, I tend to be toward the bottom of the leaderboard. I don't know what mechanics are bad or just aim over. I'd have to see it. I'd have to see what you're talking about. But yeah, a lot of people think smoothness is like when you go like this. And it's like you want a combination of both, bro. Like you want the flick and then the smoothness for like the micro adjust. So like you should be fast, like getting close to the target, but then you shouldn't like be too flicky where you can't track a target like this and like actually hit your shot. You know? And that was like my problem. I was like too flicky. I was too flicky, too fast, and too tense to like be like, see, I still struggle with this, bro. To hit moving targets. But like if you train like to work this problem out, like it is so worth it. Like if that's your bottleneck, you know, that's kind of like been the approach I've had to aiming recently. And it's just like what is my bottleneck? And I'm gonna find it, the thing that makes me the most uncomfortable, I'm just gonna grind it out and work on it. This team, yo, yeah, Andrew's definitely. This team is actually flames, bro. Like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, actually, I think this is called hit confirmation. Interesting. I didn't know it was referred to as that. Did you get a CS2 invite? No, I didn't. I'm still salty about that. Scorpion was a kind player. Saw that he's in advance. Yeah, Nico was really cool. Nico was he's a really cool dude. He was really cool in person too. Got no hate towards Nico. I believe he's coaching that team. I believe he's coaching Yuri's team. Be vocal on what plays you're doing. Make sure your teammates are on the same page as you. Yeah, that's actually really good advice if you're gonna be like star player type stuff. Because you have a lot of freedom if you are the star player, but like you don't want to like use that freedom to like be a fucking mountain lion and like lone wolf type shit. Like that freedom's there for like your teammates to support you. You know. I need to have a chat with you sometime about what would be a good players to watch demos of. I swapped roles and currently kind of lost once we get team setting. With me, but I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I have not been on the demo grind as of recently. I feel like, and I maybe you can relate to this, Whiskey, because I believe you used to IGL, right? I think a lot of IGLs like upcoming can probably relate to this, but I actually have been chilling a lot and like watching demos because of this new roster. Like I stopped watching so many demos because of the new roster. And pretty much I had this problem before, like I would just grind the fuck out of demos, like just watching demo. Okay, that's a cool strat, that's a cool tactic, that's a cool strat, that's a cool tactic. And I have all these ideas in my head that like I want to implement. And like the team, in order to like get to a lot of these like niche strats and set plays, like the team needs to have a certain foundation of structure and strats. And like that has to be built up first, and that kind of takes a decent amount of time. And what would end up happening is even if I didn't implement these strats into the team and I was like, I knew to wait, it's like these strats would just be running around my mind and like it would like low-key make me crazy, bro. Cause I want to do all these other things, but I can't because we have to work on our default, our basic default, you know? And like I sort of got like make me crazy because like I'm like, bro, I want to do this like set play, I want to do this, and I have all these ideas, and like I end up like low key trying to call for it like in a on the fly type of way during a game, and it like fucks the round up. So it's like I low key just realized like, okay, I'm only gonna start watching demos when I don't have answers to questions on like how the team should grow. And another reason too why I kind of like chilled on watching demos is because I feel like from grinding all those demos out, I actually have a pretty good understanding of theory of Counter-Strike, and this understanding of theory allows me to like make my own style at this point, because before I used to just copy, and I don't know, I feel like the beauty of CS is like making your own style and making like your shit work. And I just find it way more enjoyable. Like this is art. Like we're copying a decent amount, but like let's make our own shit off this default. You know, like let's make our own plays off this and like make your own thing versus like copying straight up. So that's kind of like why I've been chilling on demos. So that's like a kind of long way to answer your question of like I don't know who to tell you to watch because I haven't watched any demos really. I watched a demo today on I think it was Liquid, just so I could see how they played outside Nuke. So yeah, that's an example of like I had a question. I didn't know how, like, I was kind of confused on positioning on certain like anti-eco rounds as an outside player. So then I would watch a demo to answer that question. So like nowadays I only watch demos to answer questions that I have, and I'll like write these questions down and then go into the demo with like focused watching. Because another issue I have too when I like grind out demos is that like I wouldn't have anything to focus on. So like I'm getting a lot of broad understanding of like that's a cool strat, that's a cool strat, that's a cool strat, like a bunch of different strats versus like depth of like things that I actually need, you know? So that's kind of like the epiphanies I had towards watching demos, and I kind of like switched up how I treat that now. If I'm gonna watch any demos, it's probably gonna be our own team demos. Let me see. You started, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I remember we tried you out for a while. I think you were like supposed to join the team too. Because I remember I had a strat in the strat book that like recently we were like working the strat book, like seeing what we need to keep, what we need to throw out, and like your name was in there. I was like, bro, fucking Whiskey's name is in here. What West Proter playlist do you recommend? Is he's got a video on like the best Valorant / CS playlist at benchmarks actually, and there's several different playlists in there that you can run. Just run those benchmarks. Pretty much one or two rifles now, so it's a lot of different playstyle. Okay. Why do you think your team struggled to win matches last season? From my perspective, felt like your team was getting out. I mean, yeah, I think that's literally what it was. I think, like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I think the issue with the last roster, and like, there's no hate to the players on the team that it was comprised of, but I think it was like an issue of like too many IGL minded type players, and it's like Nico's strong in his IGLing, JR is really strong in his IGLing, and like that's like really good for them. But it's like when you have four people with that same mindset, like the roster before would always be me, main calling, and Andrew as a secondary. And then we picked up Nico to pick up secondary caller after Andrew left, which he did really well on. And then Andrew came back, so it's like, okay, now we have like three IGL like-minded players. And then Rob ended up leaving, so we need to pick up an opera, so we picked up JR. But JR also used to IGL. So I think we just had a lot of like IGL type players who are pretty used to like not being in star positions and like more used to like being like the pillars of like strategic foundation where like they just don't mess up, you know? And I think there's just like a lack of firepower and a lack of like initiative. That's my opinion. And that's just like what happens when you have like too many like-minded players. Like there's nothing wrong with JR and his playstyle of op IGL. There's nothing wrong with Nico and his playstyle of like being his IGL and like a rifler. It's just like when you have too many of like that in one team, I think it can cause problems. That might have been what it was. You know, and like they would do great on their own with like their own teams and stuff. It's just like when you, like I said, too many, I think becomes an issue. But yeah, the out aim was definitely a thing. I think at least personally, my mechanics were not up to par. CT, I used to sort of controlling the setups as IG on the flow around, but now I'm playing off other people more. Okay, so you went from more of like a assertive role to more of like a passive role. Yeah, that can be a bit difficult, especially I feel like that's like a personality thing. Like you got to put like personality type players in certain roles like that. How do people learn CS theory and concepts philosophy? Just watch a fuck ton of demos. Try and be consistent in your demos, and then branch out. I made the mistake of watching just every fucking team possible and seeing every different playstyle possible, and I was like so confused for like the first 100 demos I watched. I'm like, this team does this and this team does this. Why? Like, which one's the right answer? And it's like they're both right, you know. So I would say start with watching just one team and just try to understand like what they're doing, and then branch out to other teams, and you can see like, okay, that's another answer to this problem that you could probably implement. And then sometimes you realize like, wow, they're both right, and this one's actually a right answer in this situation. That one's actually a right answer in this situation. And then you can like branch off of that, and like it just gets deep, bro. Just essentially just watch a bunch of demos. And you'll learn CS theory that way. First stuff and trying to change it. Example just off the dome would be I used to anchor Mirage, but now I'm a connector. So this stuff, yeah, that is definitely way different. Started open, but that's right. Yeah, that's right. You're supposed to join the team. Fucking Whiskey in the strap book, man. Do you watch demos and GoTV, or I watch it and refrag? Yeah, definitely watching refrag. Okay. All right, now we got like a decent amount of people in here. Oh, what's good? What's good, Reeve? Beard God. What's up, man? All right, let me go back to refrag. I want to show the smoke, dude. I gotta show JR smoke. He left the team with this like a day before he left, and it's gold, dude. Give me a sec. I'm opening up a refrag server right now. It's going good, Reeve. What about you, man? It's going good. I think that's what I'm struggling with. The small differences are just IGL brain. Yeah. You just gotta learn kind of like just to like take more individual initiative versus like trying to command. I know what you're talking about. It's a stubble, bro. I consider that a beard. Like I'll see in the videos like the stuff. I'm so jealous, dude. Like it's a beard, dude. Like you know how bad I wish I could grow stubble. Like I feel like I just look so cool. All I get is this fucking pedo stash, dude. Too curly. Can't you like use like a comb or something? Like just pick it out. Like you, I think Angie, yeah, Angie got the beard too, bro. I see all these people with beards, bro. I'm fucking jealous, man. Another reason too, I want a beard. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like the main reason I started wanting, I got like minoxidil and like the derma rollers for like 2 months, and I quit it. I wanted to get a beard so bad because like when I was bulking, like I store a lot of fat in my face. I feel like the beard would just cover it so easily, and I could just like look big without looking bulky. You know, like dude, like you got beard privilege, bro. You got beard privilege. I'm jealous. All right, watch this. All right, look at. Bro, this is all right. This is a smoke. JR left the team. JR Nasty. He's got his own YouTube channel. Check him out, okay? He was theory crafting and he found a smoke that lands on a ramp. I'm gonna show you the lineup first because it's just gonna be cool if I just don't say nothing and show it. But yeah, I'll explain it after. Watch this, man. Watch this. Watch this shit, dude. It's like pixel ass perfect. You go here. Run backwards. Instant throw. You ready? Fuck me, dude. I missed it. Hold on. Hold on. I had this down. I actually had this down. Fuck me. What am I doing? Hold on. Watch this. Right here. Instant throw. Watch this, dude. You ready? You ready? Look at that shit, dude. Lands right there. They can't sing. They can't really see ramp if they swing. You got like one ways on their feet. All right here. It stops the crane peak. And the way... Yeah, JR has a YouTube channel. The way the smoke, like the timing of it, it stops like this peak. Like even if they have the best spawn, it stops this peak. The smoke blooms, like as soon as you're peeking right here, it blooms. So like if you wanted, you could like Molly Secret or something, have that smoke bloom, and like they can't peek your crane, and if they decide to peek stage, you can just see their feet. Also, when the smoke is down, like you could just like use that one way all the way up to like sandbags, like right here. You just like one way their feet. It's like really hard for them to like kind of see you. Shit's sick, bro. I haven't worked out the protocols of this smoke yet. This is like theory craft shit. This is very bone dry, basic type stuff. If you want to use a smoke, you gotta work out the protocols. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's all you. We haven't really run this a lot yet, but it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs, and it's for the future soon. We'll work on that shit. Wait a minute. You have a YouTube and Twitch message popping up this stream? Yeah, dude. I stream. I multi-stream. That's why I never went Twitch partner. People like wanted to sub on Twitch, but I never went Twitch partner because you can't multi-stream if you go Twitch partner or Twitch, not partner, Twitch affiliate, which is a fucking scam anyways. But yeah, that's why I have the chat so people can see the chat from Twitch stream and YouTube stream up on when they're watching. Sam is the man. Oh, you just went on both of them. Thank you, bro. Any tip to show yourself? Any tip to show yourself like IGL? What do you mean by that? This is sort of shit vertigo pickers. What, you call me a vertigo picker? I'm not gonna lie, dude. I kind of like vertigo on when you plug it out. A lot of people complain about it, but it might just because I play A on CT side. So, and that's actually changing now, dude. I'm low key upset. I'm gonna miss doing liquid, man. But it'd probably be for the better in the long run. Thought they changed that. Don't know. Change what? The multi-stream? You can. Okay, so they changed multi. You're allowed to multi-stream, but not at the same time. So it's like if you want to stream on Twitch and YouTube, you have to do it at separate times, which is like fucking stupid. Like, why would I do that? It like limits the amount of viewers I get. So I think like most of my viewers is on YouTube anyways. I remember, I think the peak stream, I had a peak stream, bro, like last season. I think it almost peaked 100. It was 96 viewers. That's the most viewers I ever had. And I believe like 70 of them were on YouTube. So like there's no way I'm like going Twitch affiliate unless maybe I reached the requirements for Twitch partner. But even then, I feel like it's just better to stream on YouTube. You have like more control of like your premium members and stuff. So many dumb rules, but I love your knife. Oh, thank you, bro. Dude, this shit jumped up in price with the CS2 announcement. CS2 literally all over. Dude, I know. Like actually, like the one way here, the one way here, like phasing the one ways down here, the one way that you throw under the thing, like vertical's about to suck. Like it's actually gonna suck. You fall off of that smoke. That's a valid point, but I mean we got like what 4 months till CS2. What if this is like OP as shit and like helps us win the season? We beaten that this season. Yeah, we definitely are. Bro, we're dude. Yeah, when we get to playoffs, bro, oh, that'd be crazy. We get like some crazy amount of viewers. Like, I can see it happening. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like, dude, Alec is like, Dylan is so funny. I feel like that's just gonna like bring more vibes too. Like when we're in the stream, I feel like it's just gonna make the stream like so much more funny. I don't know. I feel like the vibes are just, they're just there too, like with the new team. Which I wish I could stream the practice. Like that's why I haven't streamed at all. I wish I could stream the practices or team practices, but like we're going over like super fundamental stuff. Like shit that I would not want to get leaked. And so I just can't stream that because I don't want to get anti-strike like 2 days before the season starts. Like we're still working on maps. Like we only played like every map like once or twice. So content. No, actually, dude, there's like so much funny shit that happens when we're playing. Like if I were to stream it, like that would actually be so easy content. All right, let me see if I have shit to talk about. There's that vertigo smoke I want to talk about. Let me see. If anyone has questions too, I can answer that shit. Let me see. Best template for a strat book. Okay, let me show you this. I released one. Okay. I posted my template here on where is it at? Where the fuck is my template at? I made a tweet about this shit. The fuck is that? Right here. This is the strat book template I showed, but Masami Duck. Here you guys should. Masami, he started a channel recently. What the fuck? How do I get so many notifications? And he's got. Where is it? Efficient strat book.
Hey, it's
This right here. I'm not gonna lie, his shit looks way cleaner. And it's like like he's got it where you can like print it out and it shows all your roles. It's a quick book. So the difference is the one I have right here. This is a strat book where it's like it can be like super in depth. But the problem is like if you want to get to a specific strat because you don't know what you're doing, like it can get pretty messy, right? But he's got a quick book where like you can just scroll through it or print it out and see everything you need. If I was you, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I wish I kind of started my strat book on this instead. You're probably better off going with Masami, but we kind of already started on here, and like I already been filling it out. So I don't think I think I'm like kind of grandfathered in. I don't think I can change, dude. Once you get fundamentals down, I'm gonna start scheduling versus advanced teams. I don't think they'll want to. Oh, that is true. Yeah, I probably won't be able to stream it. Best template for. Could I pay to watch your pracs? I show you my ID and shit. I don't play League. I mean, if you're interested in that, I don't release team practice VODs unless the roster is changed. I'll leave them in here. Let me see. It's a frog hunting stream. Where's that? These are all team tryouts. Are these all out of order? Bro, these are all out of fucking order. But because they're... Oh, that's so whack. Oh, no, here, I gotta go to playlist. Playlist. Where's it at? Bro, look at these old ass playlists. Bro, I literally made a playlist of this shit. Team Prac. Here we go. The Team Prac playlist. I only released the Team Practice VODs of old rosters where like shit's way different. These are like old team practices. I have them all released. They're only available for like noble team members. Because I like want to avoid anti-stranding as much as possible. Because there is some stuff we still do in here. If you're interested in that, I mean, you could do that. But I don't expect you to pay if you're not interested in that. Best could I play? I guess I don't follow you on Twitter. About to change it. Oh, appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Death Clan gamers. Yeah, but your arms are bigger, so you win. What against Masami? We can still swap it. Oh, you talking about the strat book? Yeah, we probably should, dude. We're not that far into it. We really aren't that far into our strat book. Honestly, the perfectionist in me starts writing my strats and then wasting more time strat making than actually. Yeah, dude, I started doing that. Here, I can show you an example. I was about to go like all out. Like I just got like fucking ADHD hyper focused on this. Let me see. I'll show this real quick. Let me just find the specific strat. I got like super focused, bro, and I was about to make the strat book like crazy and have like hyperlinks within the strat book to like other strats, and like I'll just show you. Let me see. I think it was Overpass. There was like something like that. Oh, actually, no, I cannot leak this actually. Yeah, this is our main default. Never mind, I'm not leaking this. But pretty much there was like hyperlinks to like other strats within it, and it's like hyperlinks from that to other ones. I did that for like an hour, and I got finished. I was like, dude, that's so sick. And then the next day, I was like, there's no way I'm doing that again for every strat. There's like no way. What was the channel name for the strat book? Let me see. It's Masami Duck. Right here, Masami Duck. Right there, my efficient strat book. Imagine if your team just didn't look at this. Dude, I'm pretty sure that is happening right now. I think I'm the only one that uses the strat book. Unless like Andrew throws like one in there. Because I'm writing my thesis right now and that's just freaking me out. So many hybrid. Yeah, dude, I think it's a bit too chaotic. I'm not gonna lie. It's very detailed, but it's like too it's like, bro, here, I'll show you the master strat book. I have like a master strat book where I used to keep like all the strats in, and then I started making like new strat books per team. I'm not gonna scroll through the whole thing, but you'll just see how many pages this thing had. I stopped adding to it. Because I just put it all in the team-based strat book. But okay, 1 out of 117, 26, 50, 60, 169 pages, bro. It's fucking stupid. It's like actually stupid. Who's gonna like? You're better off with Masami, bro. You're better off with Masami. It's actually stupid. There's no way I'm bringing a 170-page strat book to land. It's so bad. Yeah, Liger would read the whole thing too. Yeah, that thing is way too long. All right, let me get my notebook out. Actually, I don't think I even have anything cool. I feel like, bro, I used to do a lot of like what I learned in demos on stream, but then I just stopped watching demos. And then all I've been learning recently is like super niche, like in-depth teams type stuff. And I feel bad because like I want to talk about this stuff, but I can't because it's like it would fuck us over. So I'm kind of like screwed on content right now, unless I have like specific ideas. Are you gonna run a 7-map pool when you save NACS? Fuck no. Fuck Mirage. Fuck no, baby. Been a minimalist mindset lately. I feel like it's could have one perfect default leading. Yep. I've been on, dude. We're on the same page, dude. I used to be like I was saying earlier about like watching too many demos. Like you can ask Andrew, bro. Like my mindset before, like how I used to IGL was just like, let's have every strat possible and call random shit. And like we would do that in scrims, and then right when we get in league match, like Rob even called me out. Right when we get in league matches, I'd like start doing like one strat like every single time because I'm like trying to like play perfect. It was like stupid. It was like actually such a bad. I mean, you learn as you IGL, but that used to be my mindset. It's like literally like because I would watch so many demos, I'd write down every strat, every set play, every default, and I just listed everything possible, and then we just call random. Like I would low key like I would call random shit, and there's maybe some like rhyme to my reason and how I called, but it was like so bad. Like recently we've been like kind of like what you said, just having like one default and then like extensions. So like it can just change, you know? Do you think NACS will be saved with CS2? Hopefully, bro. That's gonna bring a lot of people. A lot of people brings attention. You know, attention brings money. Money brings ores, man. Once I'm done with my defense, we should make a collab video. Yeah, I'm down. Be sick. I gotta like draw a fake beard on when I do it. That'd be sick, dude. Bro, I wish I could get like more on the contents. I want to stream more and I want to get more on the content side because I feel like I've really been lacking that area. But it's like, I don't know. As of recently, bro, I just like seriously just do not have time for that shit. It actually kind of sucks because I do really enjoy this. TSM was coming to NA, but they want EU. I don't think. Oh damn, bro. Yeah, I wish that if a bunch of orcs come back to NA because of CS2, that would actually be so sick. And they just pick up like a bunch of ECL teams or advanced teams, salary them. Hopefully we'll be advanced by then. Maybe it could be Liquid Academy or something. That'd be sick. Team Liquid Academy. All right, let me see if I have something to talk about. Or how's the same height? How tall are you? 30 billion. No, dude, they cut one of them, didn't they? I think they just cut a roster. Fuck, dude. I already know my notebook is just gonna be filled with team notes and not new shit. All right, I'm just gonna start thinking of shit to talk about while you guys talk in the chat, okay? Because I need content, bro. I'm running out of shit to edit. I'm not gonna lie. Say we have. Okay, let me see. I have an overwhelming hatred for Vertigo. I would love to see some nice utility sets on CT side. Help slow down aggressive pug stars from cranking me. You play A? You play A site? Oh, you're 5'7"? I'm only 6 inches taller than you. So you need some like fucking stilettos, bro. Masami Duck. Oh, because I follow him on Twitter. He posted about it on Twitter. Because I posted my scrapbook template, and then he commented on it, and then he said I inspired him to post his strats and his documents. So then he posted because of that. Because we're both on that NACS hype train, bro. We're the last two. We're the last two out here. Besides Hippo Strike and Wreath and Nart and Smirky and Glaze and JR and CSGO Playbook, Jay. And who else? Who else do I watch? Fuck, I can't think of any other names. Who's that one dude? Fuck, what's his name? He made that Mirage window. Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh yeah, Kojo, Austin. Fuck, dude. Elige. Stico, but he's not even NA. I need the plug for league content. I miss y'all. Dude, well, the league's starting soon. So I'm gonna be streaming league matches, and then if you want the VODs to those, I'm gonna be posting those if you're like, I think, yeah, if you're a Noble Team, if you're like a Noble Team member. I post the VODs. So yeah, Noble Team is like all like team shit, bro. Mahone, that's his name. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people trying to save NACS. I'm tweaking. It's not just me, you know. It's not just me and you. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, the drought will end soon. The stream will be back up pretty frequently because of league matches. And then once we get like a good foundation of like strategy and defaults and stuff, I'm gonna start streaming team practice. I'm probably gonna skip server time if it's in depth, and also like stream scrims and stuff because I don't think that's that big of a deal. I just won't release the VODs unless like 2 years down the line, and if I don't know, Andrew just gets picked up by Astralis or something, and like this roster just dies. So. But yeah, if you want to see the team, you have to tune in live because I don't want that shit getting leaked. Or have Noble Team, you can watch like the old team practices. But yeah, the drought will end soon, man. And hold on, my nightlight's turning on. Okay. Fuck, dude, I gotta think of something to talk about, bro. I need content, dude. I need content. Ask me a fucking question. Oh, sorry, util sets. What site you play? I'm assuming you're A site. Okay, yes, sir. I almost just passed up on you, dog. My fault. Okay. A site, util set. All right. You could run this shit. I feel like this is pretty common, but you're talking about like rush teams. You want some like util sets against that. If someone's like rushing you, a smoke you could throw, like you'll hear the rush coming in, obviously, or you could obviously just go for this crane peek if you have like a good spawn. This peek is like never bad to go for. You just don't over peek it because you can obviously get opt. If you always just peek right here at the rebar, it's pretty safe. They have to jump up and it's like a free kill, but you'll hear the sounds if they're rushing. If they're rushing, fall back and you could drop a smoke right here for your teammate to play around a one-way. And here's the cool thing. If you don't have a teammate sandbags, still just throw the smoke, right? It's still the same threat. The T's see the smoke and they're like, and if they're experienced players, they're like, fuck, that's a one-way. And they're not gonna commit past it because it's like that smoke is super dangerous. This guy's got one ways to play around. And then you could obviously flash above him to peak ramp, to peak down ramp. He's got one ways here. It's like really hard to kill this guy out of the smoke. So If you hear him rushing, you just drop back, throw the smoke. Another cool thing too, if you're the guy throwing the smoke into the crane player, is that this smoke is like such a big threat. Sometimes the teams they'll see this and pause here at the sandbags, so they're like waiting out for that smoke to phase. You can just come here and molly and HE them while they're sitting there at the sandbags. That's like some shit that we used to do a lot on Vertigo, but I don't play A anymore. Sad moment, man. Sad moment. That's a pretty good util set you can throw against like those puggy teams. Just fall back, throw that shit. Yeah. Actually, I have an ancient T side, B side nade set. Smoke Molotov flash. Let me share it. Yeah, you want to join the server? I can show you on fuck, dude. This is gonna be the first Wreath the Wreath collab, bro. I can DM you the server if you want to join. No, but as IGL demand your spot back. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think I have like the most fun spots on the team, so I can't. I don't have say so in that. I kind of it's a give and take. It's a give and take. I like low key play like everywhere I want. It's pretty nice. All right, yeah, I'll DM you the link. Do I have you on Twitter? Bro, I don't have you on Twitter. Do you have a Twitter? Oh shit, there you are. I just followed you. Alright, I'm not gonna leak the link. I'm moving to I still play A. I'm just a flex player. Oh, you're in a Discord? Okay. Oh shit, yeah, I can just DM you on Discord. Let me go to I'll move you to the private channel. Yo.
What's up?
What's good, Brody? Alright, that's the link. You said what?
I need to meet you on YouTube now.
Oh shit, yeah, you do. You're adult.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter, man. I don't know. I never caught on.
Okay.
But I made an account because I was coaching for some people, and they say you should have a Twitter. So
yeah, that's what I hear a lot. It's pretty good to like get your name out there. I feel like you meet like a lot of people in like the scene too, just on Twitter. You see like their posts and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But I never really cared for it. I just made videos for fun.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, love your content though, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Very inspiring. It's kind of like it's like I get to vicariously live the fantasy of having a team and like building a system and just see you do it instead. So,
yeah, thanks, man. Wait, why don't you start one yourself?
Oh, dude, too much commitments. I'm a PhD student, so.
Oh, okay. You don't have the time for it.
Yeah, I am considering maybe this summer if I'm still in the United States. I'll try to get like open team and just play with some friends and build some stuff.
Yeah. Wait, you said still in the States? Where are you from?
I'm from India, man.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Bro, I did not know
I'm
that.
an international student. Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck this. Yeah, I hate this grind. I wish it were a lot simpler, but hey.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Everyone
has their. Yeah.
Where are you gonna school
at? Minnesota, University of Minnesota.
Oh shit. That's crazy, bro. I didn't know that. I didn't know about you.
I mean, I haven't purposefully like put my info out there, but oh well.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. You're not gonna like drop a video and be like showing nades and be like, yeah, by the way, I'm an international student PhD. I'm from India and studying Minnesota. Like,
yeah. You accidentally just dox myself and then
Yeah.
I am thinking when I become a doctor officially at the end of the semester, I'll maybe make a YouTube post. And I was wondering how can I show that a picture of myself getting a doctorate without doxing myself? Just funny.
Yeah,
right, so,
yeah.
So you were showing like I think in the video today I saw like you had some lineup from the X's, right?
Yeah.
I don't have all the smokes from the same spot, but this spot right here, I just like stuck spots because it's faster, right?
Yeah.
So you can throw both the smokes as you show. There's this one, and then there's this one, which is a short one. When you aim at that like oil patch, and that's gonna land right there. The molly I like to throw from here is a pillar molly, because with the update, I really don't care about molotoving cubby. You can just clear it with a flash. So you only need to molly pillar, and it also makes it easy for your cave player to like clear cave as the execute's happening. So that molotov is a middle quick jump throw. You see this line, just aim at the bottom, middle quick jump throw.
Oh, shit.
And it lands right there. And it's gonna spread to this side. It may not look like it, but it does when the smoke is up. So let's just do the smoke and molly together, right? So the smoke
affects
is out.
the spread?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Source one shit. Yeah. So if it's right on the border of the smoke, it actually pushes the Molotov towards this direction, basically. But what what I've noticed is that when I'm come peeking here, this Molotov will usually be spreading right there, and that way I sort of know that yeah, this Molotov burns the whole thing. So you throw that, and then I have 2 flashes. And again, it's been a while since I played like with a team to know what like actual flash people would want to use. But the first flash pretty easy. Just aim anywhere around here, middle click jump throw. That's the entry flash. So it pops it in the middle right here, so nobody can avoid it. And then the second flash is you just aim right there and jump throw. And that one pops right here, and it pops in such a way where like I've tested it, this guy gets blind as well. So like the whole of Cubby gets blind, so you don't need to molly this.
Oh
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Holy
this
shit.
This is the sort of shit I waste my time on, man.
Yeah, hold on, hold on. I gotta say that stuff while I'm here.
Yeah.
Let me
I
just
mean,
say
it's
that.
gonna be on stream, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. I might as well just get it right now. Let me just say this nade. That's it, cause I need like more combo spots. I mean, especially for B site. I only have that like god combo spot. Or smoke cubby. Let me say that shit. Is that
actually, if that's something you think is interesting, I can make more videos on this on my channel because I really like stuck spots and like just having like full execute nade sets from there.
Yeah.
Like a full belt of util. So. Yeah.
Where's that? There's this flash.
The flash
right?
was
Oh, this
right
is the
there.
left, right?
Yeah, you can play around to see like if you. I had a very specific lineup. Let me just throw it right now. Move. Yeah. All right. So I believe it was this one right here, and it was again a middle click.
Okay.
No, something like this. But basically, it bounced off this wall and then popped right here.
Oh wow.
And that's the sort of stuff that like probably only pro teams care about. Like, let's just try it. This lower. I'm gonna waste some. I think I have it. It's one of these 2 spots, so I think it's the higher one.
Like perfectly
and
pops?
it's that one. Yeah. Nah, I can't figure it out. But it. I mean, I can record a video about it once I do have it.
Yeah.
Maybe this. Whatever. But you get the point. The
Where was
entry flash is. Yeah.
Where was the cubby one at?
The cubby one was, you see this spot right here, 2 spots. Just aim to the right of it and jump throw.
That one's sick. It's like a nice like layered flash.
Yeah. It also kind of like, if you have the double smoke, right? It basically flashes all of sight because and the molly's thrown, right? Like to be fair, ancient B side is literally if you use 2 smokes, 1 molly, like what's left to clear? So
no, actually, yeah. Let me say that shit. It's just kind of sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, of course.
That's it, right. Yo, hell yeah, dude. Another combo spot. Now I gotta remake the whole video. Let's go.
No.
Hour
it was a good
gone.
video. I like to see like all the because every IGL has like some weird nades they know that nobody else uses.
Yeah.
I like seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like come to the realization to recently. It's like I was saying it earlier, like on the stream, but like just less copying, more just like make your own shit. I feel like it makes for like a more unique play style. And like I feel like it's way more enjoyable too. And also I feel like it flows better. Like if you have stuff that like you make unique shit off of like how you're currently playing and like add on to that. Like how you're saying like one default like with like extensions off of that. Like that's kind of how I've been playing recently. Like, I think some of those nades were like off of that. Like these piss nades, this I got from a video, but like the molly and stuff, like I just threw that in there like to add on to it, like for like a late take Ivy or something, like just adding on to shit that I see in demos.
So when I was like assistant coaching, I think I was with a ECL team, and they had like, even if they themselves didn't know the nades, the teams they played had those nades. So like that sort of thing that you were showing here, right? Like I remember at some, I guess Nart shows everything to be fair, right?
Yeah.
But like they had some like smoke lineup where maybe you throw door smoke from like here, whatever. Like you get the idea. I was able to get one that bounces here. I'm a sucker for like perfect util. So like one that lands in the middle of the door.
Yeah.
And then they had like molly lineups and then throwing a flash either for like ramp or like a flash that pops over like a lane. Just stuff like that. You have your own lineups, of course. And yeah, there's just so many. Today's meta is just like all about like everyone throws all the util at the same time.
That's what it seems like. Yeah. There's a lot you gotta know. Like rules are a lot looser than they used to be.
Yeah. The other thing I had was for your rush, right? Like you were showing the Molotov lineup for again Cubby. This one, right? There were different ones I knew. I think it's better if you just throw a lineup for a pillar. So you just aim at that line, walk a bit, and just jump throw.
Okay.
and that one lands at pillar. So it's like the rush nade, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe the guy here throws the cave smoke, and this guy just comes here, throws that molly, and then they can just throw that smoke. Which it's been a while, but I think it was I had a lineup like I think this whatever you posted one too. So
Yeah.
you know, throw a deep CT smoke.
Yeah, we'll say for the rush specifically, we had one of the on the fly, like one of the entries. I think the entry through the molly, there's like a run to like that, which actually I don't even think I showed it. I only showed so I saved all the nades I had. I showed all the nades I had saved in refrag, which some of those nades like I just didn't save that I currently use, like this one, because it's like super easy to remember. Which it kind of like got left out of the video. So that's actually I didn't even think about that, Molly. But yeah, you made me think about that.
Yeah, it's just simply because again the new ancient. It's just kind of B-side is really easy. It's like there's only one spot to play from, which is pillar. Everything else you can flash off. So
yeah. I'm actually like really curious to play because I have not touched it since like the update. I think we maybe played like once with like JR and then the Ross. Like I don't think we played after. I could be wrong though.
It's just a bit more T-sided now.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I haven't seen any demos on it. So like,
yeah, so
I'm
one thing
excited.
I can tell you, because I had to like counter strat for the team I was coaching for. Basically, like the current meta is right now that you almost always like throw early Molotov as T's either in Jaguar, or I would say like use it for ramp simply because you guaranteed this aggression can never happen. But you know, I've seen teams like not worry about ramp, just have 3 players somewhere around here, and then always throwing this Molotov. And it doesn't matter if they're gonna take Jaguar control; they just throw this Molotov to like force the CT to throw their molly smoke, and then you know they clear Jaguar however they want, and then at some point like their teammate throws that pillar Molotov, which I guess you know I like to throw it this way. Yeah. But you throw that, and I like the Smolly because you can use it as part of like conditioning for a B execute or just for taking cave control. But whatever, like they do that, and if they're able to get cave control, then at that point they just decide they're gonna do a B execute through cave, where the bomb goes through cave. So you only need one smoke there, and then you can just cross the site and plant. Whereas if you didn't have cave, you have to use 2 smokes. So that's kind of like the justification of taking more map control with the util. It makes it easier to take B site. So that's what I've seen like here, that like those 2 mollies, basically Jaguar and Cave, they're pretty meta. You can use a third molly either here. I've not seen people Molotoving here, but I was wondering maybe, you know, if you're playing a team that's really aggressive, you can always molly here too.
I don't think that shit's meta anymore. A lot of the nades I'd say was like from a while ago and back when the spawns weren't changed. So I think I said in the video too, I don't think that molly's meta anymore though.
Yeah, so one thing I will recommend though is I feel like people are using too much util to clear like Jaguar itself. Like if you know that they don't have an opera there, I feel like it's very easy. You don't need a molly. So like this molly that people throw right here, and then they like check this, then they clear this. It's really easy to clear cave. I made a video on this too, right? And this pop flash too, I think it's outdated. Yeah. So what you simply do is you check this angle. You can check them jiggling however like, or you could just jump spot them, right? If you think there's a guy you can pick off, and then before peeking the door, if you can just see that brick right there, you just aim at it and throw a flash, and that flash pops behind, so you can swing and then just post on this angle. Okay.
Oh shit.
So you just hold this angle, and whenever you want to clear full Jaguar, you just check this. Now the reason I'm not checking this is because you can have a teammate wallbang that. So I had a lineup that was like this. And that hits this guy, whether he's crouching, standing, whether you can't see him. So, you know, you're just peeking this, your teammate spams, and if you hear him, you just spray, get that kill, and now you just check all these angles one by one, flash that off, and then you can post on this. The reason this might be good is on ecos, you can then, like, use it molly here, or something like that, for, like, the Zeus angles. Whatever. Oh, I hate refrag. I have a bad habit of clicking the inspect sign, and that just keeps moving me about. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, I actually like that cheetah clear. Like a cheap way to do it. Save your util. Yeah, I think you're right with the molly.
You can use it in ecos, or like if you already use your molly, or you could say like you can use your molly elsewhere, right? Like you molly ramp, you molly pillar, and you use a flash. Like the only problem with that is if the CT start to play double Jaguar, then you know it's a bit tougher.
Yeah, where's this shit at right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a white flash. Like you know when it pops, like they have to just respect it. You get the angle.
Spam was like.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The spam you can play around with, but I made a video on it too, so
yeah.
you can
I'll probably check it out when we start playing Ancient, because I think I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a minute away for us. We're just trying to master like a couple maps right now. just so we have like a playable season.
Mhm.
Because it's like we picked up Dylan like I think like 12 days before the season started. So
Yeah.
we gotta get something down to a decent level before we like get a variety yet. But yeah, Ancient's definitely gonna be played. Fuck Mirage.
Mhm. Is there any other map that like you kind of want some util on, or nah? You're good.
As far as util,
Or ideas too.
ideas.
Mhm.
Let me think. I think we're good for the most part. I did have questions today, but they they got answered after it was for Vertigo, like just some ramp protocol type
Yeah.
stuff. We do you
Also, I
know
hate Vertigo, so sorry.
oh you hate Vertigo?
Yeah, it's ass map, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I have the enjoyable roles on it, so of
Hey,
course I'm
good
gonna
for
be
you.
biased.
Good for
Yeah.
you. My problem is I look at it, I'm like, okay, there's some tactics to it, and then the next pug I play, I just like get 16 forward, and I just say
Yeah,
like,
and it's
this is
like
the
fuck this
most
shit,
trash
dude.
map ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just there was like some questions I had on there. I would say I would ask you, but Jay, we have do you know CS:GO Playbook?
Uh, he used to post videos a long time ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's actually an analyst slash coach for us. And
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Good shit, good shit.
he's been coming with like bro, he like shows up with like PDFs and stuff, like questions that we have. He's
Yeah.
going off. And like I had some questions about the protocols and rant, but yeah, that shit kind of like answered. If I were to think of anything though, um well actually I can't say what maps we're playing right now because that's would actually be
No,
it could
you
get
don't
used
have to
against
say it.
us. Yeah.
Do you want any ideas on Anubis, or no, you're good?
Anubis, bro, I have yeah, give me a fucking rundown of that map. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know shit about it. I'm
Sure.
supposed to be the
I'll just
con
explain like the
player.
basic default, and you
Yeah,
can then figure out.
yeah, because I remember when JR was on the team too, he talked about it briefly, Anubis,
Mhm.
like how we should play it, but we played it like once, and then
Yep.
we ended up playing in a league match, and then we had two subs. When we like Nart was subbing for us. It was like there was no structure
Yeah,
at
he was
all, dude.
coaching for you, right?
No, he's not. He's just there as he's a scare tactic.
Dang.
He doesn't coach us. I think he coached like one match. He's
Mm.
like let me get in there and coach y'all, but he's mostly on the roster just to scare people.
Hmm. I mean, what kind of pressure? Like, oh, there's another YouTuber streaming this or something like that?
No, it's like they're like, oh fuck, like Nart's on the team, like he must be coach, like show him all the nades, like people that click on our
Oh,
roster.
for your opponents.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. They're gonna see the roster lineup, be like, fuck, dude, Nart's definitely coaching. I'm showing him all that shit. Like, it's just
Yeah.
a scare tactic. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
So
the
with Anubis, they're like on the I start with T side defaults. There are three main rifle roles. There's like the B long lurker. There's a like a mid player, and there's usually like a rugs player right here, right?
okay,
The rugs player doesn't have to go rugs. They can also go through the stairs. But if they're gonna play isolated, they can get HE'd, smoked off, double pushed. So sometimes they'll just play passive on the rugs themselves, right? Uh,
okay,
when people want to take like bridge control, smoke here, molly here is basically just the meta right now. Now you
yeah,
can throw this part of rushing. There are rush ways to throw these nades, or you can throw them mid round, or you can throw them twice as well. But the point is, you're gonna get this house control, and with all this control, it's actually really easy to like punish rotates if you execute on a site. So it's basically like that's the advantage of taking bridge control. Of course, you can also decide to take mid control. So I would say like use next set of util. So use the first util belt to take house
it's like
control. And
phase
if you really,
two, like
yeah,
yeah,
smoke molly one flash, I guess, right?
yeah,
That gives you house control. And then another smoke molly flash. So the common meta right now is smoke here, molly here, and then you can flash above here. And if you decide to go A, you can throw a flash here through the like window. Like
oh,
you're just right
yeah,
here, just right there. Because while this molly is up, everyone's forced back onto site, and this is a pretty strong op angle technically, right? Like they could stay here, but if you flash that off, like you can use that flash as part of a fake for like your mid lurker to like cross and like cross to CT, or you can use it as part of like an A split. So
what
that's
the
kind of like good.
fuck? Yeah, it's
Yeah, good for
crazy.
conditioning stuff. So that's like what you can do with mid. Otherwise, like what usually happens is you show mid presence, but you make sure you get water control. And water control just comes down to you throw a smoke here early round. That way you prevent the CTs from getting too comfortable. If they do get comfortable, then you have to take like rugs to like water and then double peak or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people have like lots of different stuff. Like people throw mollies like in there.
Yeah,
People have like a lurk smoke that lands on one of these steps that
yeah.
gives
I
you like a
learned
one way.
that. Yeah, I learned those because that's like kind of like my role, I guess. T side was like the canal player.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only shit I know though. Is that smoke?
Yeah. I think like this is great because once you take this spot, you clear a lot of the tougher angles on B to deal with. So like everything around this pillar, it's like a nightmare to clear if you're just executing only from B long.
Mm,
So that's like the advantage that when you get like connector or like dark or Evox control, it's a bit
yeah.
easier to split the B site. I think the fundamental util to use on B, especially if you're coming out of B long, a smoke here and then a smoke here. And the reason I like this kind of like approach is you can stagger this. So you throw this smoke, you take some like site control, and then you throw the next bit of util. You take a smoke here, maybe a molly flash or something like that. Maybe a molly here, right? So you could like I had a lineup I think for the smoke that was something just like you see this, you run and throw it, and that's basically you have three guys peeking here, one last guy holding the smoke, and as soon as you take contact, throw that smoke and you're ready to explode on site. And then you sort of like wrap around the site. You use this smoke to like maybe basically be able to clear this a bit better. This is a very strong crossfire, and then you kind of have like a post plant situation. So the reason I say you use this smoke instead of deeper ones is if you don't have connector control, like good luck because there's so many weird angles that it's really tough to flash off. Flashes are pretty, you know, standard. You throw maybe a flash here. Maybe you can throw a flash here. So for example, like on rushes, you could use a flash like this, where it pops right there. So you know that anyone holding this side of like this angle is gonna get blind, and then your teammates throw flashes that pop on that side. So that way you know that like when you come out, this crossfire is completely flashed. And stuff like that.
Okay.
From here, you can throw like nades. So like I have one where you could throw like
Oh, for bricks, right?
ignore that. There we go. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So you can execute faster onto like B site if you have dark control. There's also like a Molotov here. Like you can aim at this pebble, run a bit.
I
and
did
jump
see
throw.
that. Yeah, I did see that. I think I watched one demo for
OG
Anubis.
maybe.
It was Navi, I believe.
Navi.
Yeah, I think so.
The thing is, a lot of the pros have cringe lineups, man. Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna look at this thing and then like I'm gonna aim at something. Like just use the ones like that are in stuck spots, like this one right here.
Yeah.
Just crouch, aim at that. That's gonna be your standard smoke that lands right here. It's just like Navi has some one where they like look here, aim there.
Shit, that's the one I have.
Yeah, and it bounces off this thing. Like, what the fuck is this? It just takes like 7 seconds to bloom, and it's kind of. It's almost as if like they googled Anubis videos and some matchmaking warrior showed like 64 tick lineup, no jump throw needed, and Navi's like write that shit down. You know,
Make it on Navi, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say like that's a trash lineup. Just like do a jump throw, like it's fucking legal in 2023. Like,
oh wow, yeah, that's way faster.
Yeah. So either ways, like that's B site. A site is pretty much you have to expect mid rotates are going to be like the fastest way CTs are going to rotate to here. So you really want to molly or smoke or like do something about this or have like a lurker applying pressure. Otherwise, like you know, there's just going to be too many op angles. Generally, A site is only going to have one player on it, but if they're like counter stratting you, they might have an opper posted on like an angle like this or an angle like this, right? Mm-hmm. So and then a rifler playing anti flash. But if they're only playing solo, then generally these are like the main spots to molly here. But you can, if you believe you can trade this, or like the team you're playing doesn't play this area strong enough, you don't need to molly this. Default, heaven, or whatever hell.
Oh yeah, I call it camera. Yeah.
Yeah. So I call
or
this
lamp,
camera.
lamp actually. That's lamp.
So the issue I have with the Molotov here is I feel like it makes it tougher to clear sight. So just you and your team agree when you're executing, are you clearing sight and denying rotates, or are you fighting the rotates while completely screwing over the sight with your util, right? So I would say like a smoke here, maybe a smoke here, molly here, and a molly here. And I like to execute with this where everyone's just pre-aiming this angle, knowing that like this is the area that's like left open, right? Yeah. The reason I'm saying that is the flashes you throw just blind everyone right here anyways. So I feel like throwing a Molotov here is kind of unnecessary because if you're going to drop flashes and chain like 4 flashes, like this guy can't see anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like an order of importance type thing where it's like if you only have like 2 mollies available, you're probably better off not mollying lamp and just getting what you the 2 you said. But if you have like the third, it's like okay, might as well, you know, you can afford it. Yeah, that makes sense.
The one thing I will say is that like have the rugs player know like support util. So I was teaching this to the team I was coaching with that like, you know, you have smoke lineups. Oh man, it's been a while. This lineup right here. So the mid player can take like deeper mid control.
What the fuck? They just kicked me?
Yeah. So the reason you do it this way is that mid player can now like solo take mid control. And like use it as like part of a fake, part of an execute, part of a lurk. And the rest of the team doesn't need to leave their spots. Or this guy can say, fuck you, mid player, you do your own thing. I'm going to clear like this area. Maybe I'm going to use a molly here. Or another thing I like is this player can apply their own pressure on A
Oh,
without,
the
again,
lurk
part of a
smoke,
default.
yeah.
Yeah. So you throw like the lurk smoke like this, and then you're just going to throw a Molotov there. And with this, you basically like apply a lot of pressure on the A players because they have no info. And you don't, again, it doesn't need to be part of an execute. It could be just part of like a heroic style default where you go to the last 30 seconds and then you have a guy just playing around here or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What would you say? So like, as far as like map control goes, it's like mid's like the desired map control. Like it's like
water is usually the first because it's really tough for CTs to fight it. So you will almost always get water unless they're like running a spawn strat. And then once you have water control, you can either set up for A execute, fast B split, or you can say we're going to pause until we get like bridge control, and then you can decide if you want to take mid control. The other thing you can do is on ecos, especially anti-ecos or something, you can start with mid control simply because CTs won't have the util to like deny you getting bridge control. So yeah,
that makes sense.
And you can of course like go for like rush strats. I loved rush strats, but I guess they're not in the meta anymore. So
on Anubis.
On any map, like I feel like, you know, like I remember when Vitality lost to Liquid and people like Apex called a monster rush, and it's like they were shitting on him for it, and it's like I get it, he didn't know what else to call, but at the same time, I like a monster rush, so.
I know it's like out of meta. Is there a reason for that? Just like protocols are just.
It's just like people like to use all their util, and they feel like everyone has sort of like solved how to use util in the round opening. Not in the mid round. Not in the mid round. People are still not good with their util. But it's like everyone just watches demos and they're like, oh, how does Bit go to Cat on Mirage? He just uses this util. I'm gonna use that same util.
Yeah.
Like right now, all the demos I've been watching, the teams are basically just like, I'm gonna dump all my util at the right moment. And sure, some people are good at detecting the right moment, like Heroic. When you see them like holding an HE around a corner, you know they're gonna use it at the best timing. But then there are other teams where, especially like NA teams, they're just like, oh, I have a util set my IGL or coach taught me, I'm just gonna use it, and it's good, but it's also like it takes the thinking out of like throwing grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just either way, it's like I guess I'm promoting it because I'm teaching you how to take map control with like util sets. Like, oh, you throw smoke molly flash together, then you throw the next smoke molly flash together, and stuff like that. But generally, like I feel in the current meta, nobody throws a util, waits 5 seconds to see a response, then does the next thing. Instead, it's all I'm gonna throw a util belt and then react off of if I get denied or if I get the space.
Wait, what's the difference? I'm confused.
Okay, so an example would be right that man, it's a bit tough to explain on Anubis because this map is still being solved, right?
Yeah. You want me to switch maps?
The concept, sure, why not? Let's try something like let's try Inferno. Inferno is always easy to explain the concepts with.
The server Romania is a refrag. Yeah, Rarith is smart as fuck. Oh, you picked him up a week ago? Okay, I didn't know it's that recent. So so you're saying like people are playing more reactionary? Is that what you're saying?
They're playing more how would I say it? Like automated. Like they've been told to do this thing, so they'll just do this thing, and they'll worry about the consequences later. So an example is, you know how like people throw like this brackets util set, right? Like they climb up here, they'll throw the molly, whatever combo they want, right? And the way the meta works right now, nobody throws one of these util. They always throw these both together, right? And the thing is, you don't know if the CTs are going to counter util you or not. So you throw this, and if the CTs don't throw any util, you say, I have mid control. If the CTs throw counter util, you just tell your team they have mid control, I couldn't take it. But nobody acknowledges the fact that you used up 2 bits of util and got nothing out of it. When instead, like for example, maybe you have a guy right here, right, who's just waiting here, like a Dupree-like angle, and then he just gets pop flash just to check an opper, or he just gets like someone throw a molly in, and then pop flashed, and then he just peeks this. And you don't need to use a smoke, but you know under porch is clear now. So in a sense, you only needed 1 bit of util, and you just broke up your map control into like one thing at a time. Like, instead of using 2 really important bits of util at the same time, and then just getting denied, you can just throw 1 Molotov, and you can you just slow it down. Like, instead of, like, having to take brackets, like, as a team in, like, 5 seconds, you can say, like, hey, maybe the CT throw a smoke, we'll wait it out, but we have info because we only wasted 1 Molotov, not a smoke. Does that make sense?
Is that what you're saying, like, the pros are doing? Is it what you just described? with
It's
like
what the
breaking it
meta
down?
is right now. Now, certain teams are good at utilizing that. So, like when people look at Kerrigan, right? Like he's calling all these strats. Like on the major final versus Navi, he called like on Inferno like an arch rush strat where they throw like the arch and library smokes, and they're just like going to apply pressure, and then they canceled it. And the thing is, a guy like Kerrigan probably knows how to mid round around it. But think of like any team that's like just not at Kerrigan's level, and they just use those smokes. They're not thinking through like, is there actually a reason to throw both smokes at the same time? Can I like delay one smoke and therefore hold on to util? So basically, the meta right now is everyone's copying each other's nades, and they reach a point where everyone is throwing the same nades, and they're throwing them as fast as possible and as much as possible, but they're not actually pausing to reflect, like, hey, can we take some time? Can we, like, break up the util and, like, be more conservative and use the round timer instead of, like, just using util at the same time? Like an example is banana. You know, like, when you play a pug, and then there's a guy who's like, I'm gonna rush banana, I'm gonna molly it. And then the second guy behind him is like, oh, I'm also gonna rush banana, I'm gonna molly this, right? And then there's a third guy, he's like, oh, I'm gonna HE and I'm gonna flash. And it turns out like the T side is just using like everyone has already used 2 bits of util in like the first 10 seconds, right? Essentially that's what's happening. Instead, so where people are like, oh, to clear banana I need util, I'm gonna use my whole belt of util, and then I'll make a decision. So I'll molly this, I'll maybe HE here, I'll get a pop flash, and then if I fuck it up, I'll worry about it later. Like if the CT throws some presence, I'll tell my IGL, hey, something happened. Or if I got this map control, I'll say I got it. But what if you get counter HE'd or Molotov, and instead you could have just thrown one bit of util and gotten the same response. You would have saved extra Molotovs and flashes and HEs. So that's kind of like why I'm kind of mad at the meta.
So you're saying like people are like they're not committing anymore to stuff.
They're not taking their time. So when you take your time, right? Like an example is, this is a really interesting question to ask. You only have one Molotov left to clear banana. Do you Molotov sandbags or do you Molotov yellow this corner, right? Because against different teams, against an opera, against like in the context of the map that has happened, either is the right answer, right? Like maybe you Molotov here because they've got like an SMG player here and you want to force him out, or maybe they have an opera here and you really want to push him back. Like both the Molotovs are right, but what's happening in the current meta is nobody really is pausing for those questions. Instead, they're just like, let me throw my util and then just react off of it. Like I'll throw a Molotov here at the start of the round, and then I'll just also HE here at the same time, without knowing whether I just push someone off back or something like that. I think it's one of the reasons why, like, I know people hate on Virtus Pro, but that's actually like one thing that like they kind of overdo it, but like they use the round timer to the advantage. And Heroic does it too. Like Heroic, sure, they have util sets, but they're like when you watch their players, like an example is like there's going to be a guy right here who's going to get a flash from like his teammates to peek banana, but at the same time he's jiggling here with an HE ready that when he sees someone he's going to HE and then he's going to peek, right? That's an example where Heroic are doing it because they probably counter strat the other team really hard and know exactly like how to dump all their util. Other teams are just looking at Heroic and are like, oh, Heroic do it with an HE, we're going to do it with an HE, rather than just saying like maybe don't waste an HE, just use a flash to check and then fall back and maybe use the HE some other time.
I'm still confused. Like, so you're saying like the pros are like bad at optimizing util? You're saying like because they dump their stuff?
Yes.
And like
yes.
Then how is that meta if it's like
levels.
inefficient?
Not all levels. Just I would say like the bottom level, especially the ones who are not like making the meta, the ones who are like keeping up the meta or catching up or something. So yeah, that is what I'm saying. And I think that's like something that's even reflected in like casual play. Like people now learn the util. And it's sort of like they just know this is the right util to throw, and they throw all of it, but they're not actually like using their time. The best example I can give is really this like fight right here, right? Like you could say I'm never gonna come out of boiler unless my teammate smokes, mollies, and flashes me out, and then I'll swing here. Yeah. Or you could just say I'm just gonna get pop flash to like take this angle off. No, there's no opper, and now when my teammates want to clear brackets, I already have a little bit of presence. So this probably means that there can't be a rifler right here who's throwing a molly when my team throws the next bit of util. So you see how like by doing that one thing rather than doing 3 things at the same time, I can basically like use more time, but at the same time save util if a counter reaction happens.
And that's what you're saying the pros should do?
Yes,
or the pros aren't
or like lower tier pros.
Okay.
Because the lower tier pros are basically ending up in a spot where they're just copying like a lot.
Okay, I think that's where I was confused. I thought you were saying like that's like what everyone's doing, like is just dumping their util. But you're saying like people are copying the pros because they see them doing certain things, but they don't understand like why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was confused for a bit.
You just watch a demo and then like just like count the number of times you see a pro throw, like, for example, brackets util, and then not actually go brackets. They're just throwing it to maybe condition, bait out the util, and you can have those objectives, but the idea is the reason you're doing all this is because you're not able to actively like decide whether you want to contest them or not. So you want to get info. Whereas you could also just be a bit more proactive and say, hey, I'm going to peek some certain angles. I know, okay, there might be an opera there. I'll try to peek them the best I can, but I'm going to do it step by step. I'm not going to like waste a smoke and a Molotov to figure it out. Instead, I'm only going to use a smoke or something like that.
Okay.
And again, this is like a long rant against like the meta. It doesn't affect you. What it basically just means
kicking
is,
me. Oh my god.
oh no, refrag.
Dude.
Yeah, this is what the refrag sponsorship gets you, buddy.
Yeah, I get kicked every 5 minutes. What were you saying though?
So it doesn't really affect you as much. That's my frustration with the meta. But like the idea is everyone is using nade sets. Everyone's like, oh, when I execute, I have to throw coffin smoke. Then I have to come here and throw the new box Molotov. Then I have to throw like a flash over CT and stuff like that, right? And that's good that everyone is so knowledgeable with the right nade sets. But at the same time, it's almost as if they're just like told to do this rather than thinking through. My teammate said there's a guy new box, let me molly it. Instead, they're just like, oh, this is part of like the thing to do. I just have to Molotov new box no matter what, and then flash here or something.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying there's like
so
more.
When you execute B, right? You can do it staggered. So, for example, rather than having to throw smoke here, and then 2 Molotovs maybe here or here at the same time, and then you have an entry just checking the angles, right? And by the time he's peeking and walking all these angles, the mollies are burnt out anyways. You could just say, how about we stagger this execute? So we use a flash to break this angle, so this guy can cross over and watch Coffin side, okay? And there's another teammate who's posted on an angle like this. Maybe before the flash, we use a smoke here, but not a smoke on CT. So what that actually happens is this angle is really easy to flash off, right? Like once you flash off, you can have your own opera posted here, and you can have a rifler cross. And because this smoke is up, he can feel confident peeking all these angles one by one, right?
So you're treating like the eggs like almost like just taking map control, almost just like breaking it down.
Exactly. So what people have done is they basically said map control can only be taken if I throw a belt of util, or like, you know, I play with my teammates, where you can also like use the round timer and like proper like methodology and like, you know, team play. Like basically instead of saying you need 2 smokes, I can say you only need 1 smoke and you need a teammate, and you can then save your util that you can use later in the round. I guess the other the other point though is, are your teammates, and not every teammate is the right teammate, right? In that regard, are your teammates the ones you would trust to improvise with util, or are the ones you would trust like they should just know a util set and use it? Right? Like most IGLs you'll see use their util really well. But then you might see like the rookie on the team is going to be someone who's just like, I like to think of Bit as an example. Like when I used to see like Navi in their like peak playing with Bit was basically doing like set rolls. Like he was told, Bit, you're going to drop vents on nuke, you're going to throw smoke, you're going to throw molly, you'll flash, and then at this time you'll drop. He doesn't need to think for it. It's something he's just practiced and he's been told to do it. And then his job is to just execute and like hit the heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you say the difference then between the, I feel like there's a time and place for both still, like where like you commit, and then there's like a time and place where like you kind of like fill it out and skimp util. And I think that's like kind of like what we accomplished like with the team was like we use the code word like iffy type setups where it's like an example is all right, one of our banana setups, right? Like if you like spectate real quick, let me get rid of these nades. They're in the fucking way. I think this kind of like goes with what you're saying. So like an example is like you'll see this in plugs where like people go to take banana and you got one guy that smokes deep and he mollies deep, and you got the other guy who always mollies close, and they always double nade logs, and they always flash, and then they always like swing like this, like they're dumping util to take banana, versus like having like one guy maybe just smoke and then like come here and like spot it out, and he's like, oh, no one's here, just flash for me, and then he flashes and you just take it like cheap. It's like
even that you could also just say like, oh, why throw both the mollies at the same time, right? Like for example, if the T's just throw the smoke to counter you at the start of the round, right? You're just wasting 2 Molotovs. Whereas maybe what you do is you throw the first molly first, you make sure there's no rush, and as soon as you know there's no rush, that's when the second molly is thrown, and then you peek, right?
That's like what we do. It's like that. So
I believe people aren't entirely stupid. Like people know this stuff. It's just that the current meta is dominated to not do that. The current meta is all based around let's just throw all the nades, and whoever has more people throwing nades, better nades, wins. Essentially.
Okay.
Like the fight for banana is basically who has more support. Is it the CT or is it the T who's peaking? And depending on that person wins. Like the T's can't win banana if you're gonna triple HE banana while they're rushing it. Like that's
Yeah.
just an example, right? But you can't triple HE banana every round. So the map basically becomes who called the right triple nade stack rather than saying who's like using their util properly in the mid round and slowing things down and stuff.
So I mean,
Yeah.
if what you're saying, like, so I guess the part I'm confused is like, if it's the meta and there's a better way, why is it the meta? Is it just
Meta is not necessarily about like what's better or not. It's like
what
what is
everyone's
dominating.
doing? Okay.
Yeah, what people are doing. And what people and I would like to blame Nart for this, right? Like people have so much nade knowledge right now. They're just thinking like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the nade set that's like the new hot thing that like maybe let's say like for example Sprout came up with. And FaZe is like, holy shit, Sprout came up with this really cool nade set. We're gonna use it exactly the way they used it. And to
Yeah.
be fair, Kerrigan improvises a lot. Like he uses so many different new executes nobody else does. But basically that's the meta. That everyone's just like, oh, when they execute B, they have to use 2 smokes, 2 molotovs, 2 flashes. So we have to do the same thing. And that works, but I feel it's like the level of CS is basically like so fast and nobody like besides Heroic and like VP like just takes their time. Just use it, and VP almost like do it in a way where they're like they overdo it. It's like too baity. I feel like there is a fine ground between it where you use slow util, you use the round timer, but at the same time, you don't like run out of time in the round. You still do things at the right timings. So one thing, right? Like the current meta is also decided by if the other team didn't throw a util, I'm just gonna keep pushing, right? Like for example, in apps, right? There's this idea that like the CTs throw this Molotov, right? And then if the T is waiting here, there's a wallbang coming, right? Like why does that wallbang exist? Why doesn't a T just say, oh, they Molotov, let me just wait here, right? It exists because the current meta is like, I'm gonna sit right behind the util, ready to take the fight as soon as I can, right? I'm not rushing, but at the same time, I'm not gonna wait. Unless you throw a smoke at me, I'm ready to peek behind the Molotov when it fades, or something like that. It's kind of that concept taken to utility. That like, if you're not gonna throw your util, I'm gonna throw my whole belt of util first. And if you throw the right util to counter me, well, sucks to be me. I'll just say like, oh, mid rounding. I'll tell my IGL like, oh, they stopped mid control, and that's fine. I feel like again, like Kerrigan's an example of an IGL who can work with that. But at the same time, when I used to IGL, I'd get frustrated. So you just wasted 3 Molotovs. I never asked you to do that. Yeah.
Huh. I guess like, well, I mean, would you say like maybe the reason that people aren't so like optimized with util is because it takes like a long time to match? Like you gotta have like some type of foundation, and then like the branches off, right? Where it's like this is a deviation from like the default. This is like when we can skip util, when like this exception happens, when this exception, and that's essentially protocols, right? Like,
yeah, and that's something that comes with like a team that actually like goes into the theory a lot, right? Like think of like Peak Astralis or like even current Heroic. Heroic is like that one team everyone cites as like their theory and their like gameplay is the best in the meta, right? And their individual skill might not be there, but they're like their ideas are all, and they're like the theory behind their game is the best. And I sort of agree with that like it's not easy for every team to do, especially in like an era of like international teams. Nobody has the time to necessarily say like, okay guys, what is our idea philosophy behind taking banana control? Teams are just like, hey, Navi do it this way, we'll do it this way and add another way, another variation, there we go, we're done. And that's fine, that will get you to a certain place. And again, I'm not hitting on teams who are doing it that way, it's just my frustration with the meta that like I hate this meta, and I feel like teams that are able to slow it down, I see no reason why. I guess other than they're bad fraggers, they shouldn't be able to like do well in that meta.
I guess I'm curious too. Is like, how do you know that teams are doing that? How do you know that like maybe that they have theory and then like their theory is just getting shut down by like, or like how do you know that they're just chucking util?
No, they have theory. This is a theory, right? Like the theory that like the IGL says, guys, we're gonna do B execute, and like a apps lurker, you're gonna throw brackets util at like 1 minute into the round, right? And he's gonna do this stuff.
Yeah.
And this is theory. It's just that IGL has basically said the theory is going to be based around the reaction based off of the util, and it's not slowed down. Like another IGL might just say, no, we're going to test mid control, and until it fails, we're going to keep trying it, and when it fails is when we're going to like mid round somewhere else, right? So like the idea is that everything has basically become an execute, right? Like if and you can watch FaZe do this, right? Like FaZe, you want to take long control. We're gonna throw smoke here. We're gonna throw molly here, and then we're gonna flash through this. And this is it's become an execute, right? And that's
Yeah.
fine. But I feel like a lot of people have lost the subtlety of like, I want to set up a lurk, and I'm gonna like do things methodically, one thing at a time. And if I get here, that is the mid round. And again, I'm not saying FaZe don't do it. It's just like FaZe is a very good example of a team that also uses executes for nearly everything. So yeah.
Interesting, bro. I never thought about it like that. It's a lot of
I thought about it a
thought.
lot when I was making that video on like linear CS:GO.
Yeah.
Like people want to do too many things at the same time and then worry about like what to do after. Like I'm gonna throw my smoke molly flash and then I'll like make a decision on what to do. Where you could also just say I'm gonna throw a smoke. Oh, they counter smoke me. Okay, I got my trade of util.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying like people have protocols, but they have protocols based off like dumping too much util and then like the responses versus having protocols like more iffy protocols where it's like you fill it out, okay, they respond, okay, we chill. Like we're not dumping too much in response.
I feel like the meta would be very different if people couldn't buy grenades right now. Like just to put it in that way. Simply because the way the meta is played right now is based so much on you have to throw the right set of util rather than taking the right fight. Right? Like it's all about like I need to make sure when I'm picking an opera he's flashed, he's been HE to 50 HP and stuff like that. And that's a good thing, but it's overdone. Everyone is doing it and it basically becomes a meta in which like when everyone does it, everyone also like starts to play around it and counter it. Yeah.
Okay, I guess maybe I just have a hard time grasping the meta because it's like you even said it, even if it's like not the best way to play, it still could be the meta. And I just like I mean, I guess I just don't understand it. Like, I feel like if people know it's not the best way to play,
it requires more work to not play like that, right? So the team I was playing with, right? An example I'll use without like giving up too much of their like play away. On CT side Mirage, they had a mid round mid aggro. Okay, so on CT side Mirage, you either fight mid early or you just respect it and play in connector or something like that. They had a mid setup where they're gonna throw a flash from like A side to like connector. They're gonna throw a Molotov under Balkans under like a pass, something like that, and then they're gonna like flash 2 guys from cat, 1 guy from connector, 1 guy from window. They're gonna peek, right? They're just trying to like take a lot of map control, get a pick, and then fall back. And that's something where like that pick can only happen if you throw a lot of util at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, that can very easily be shut out, for example, or not be used if the other team just threw like a sniper's nest smoke, or they had an opera posted at an angle that can't be flashed or something, right? And the idea is you wouldn't know that simply because you never took the time to figure out like I throw one bit of util and now there's only one angle left to clear. Instead, you're just saying I'm gonna wide swing everything because I'm trusting all the util. That's not a wrong way to play. It's just overdone. Everyone's doing that now.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Andrew's in the chat right now. He's saying that like sometimes the best way to play is just impossible for some teams because some people just lack the experience, so they're kind of forced to do like what you're saying, like the Nard out here type meta, where it's just like you may not understand it, just throw the set and like it's gonna be good enough. It's like 90% accurate. It's good enough for now. Like that, like that's like essentially what you're saying.
Yeah, like if you go back to like the Astralis era, right? Like that's where like when you look at Overpass, you just think like, holy shit, there's so many options. You don't know what to do. What smoke to use, what molly to use. Now you look at Overpass, it's like everyone is just gonna throw a balloons Molotov at the start of the round on T side. It's just gonna happen. Nobody's like pausing to think, did they even throw a smoke at like Fountain? Do I need to throw the Molotov?
Yeah.
They just throw it anyways. It doesn't matter. And again, like I can't blame the pros for doing it. If they're getting success, good for them. I personally just am so sick of it, and I wish there were like smarter teams out there that were just like playing more util savvy.
More like if thens around you. Like, okay, we're only doing this if this happens.
Yes. So like this fight right here that I was talking about, like the boiler guy gets a Molotov, right? And if he hears no ticks in the molly, he then asks for a flash from his teammate, and then he just peeks this angle. He's not swinging out. He's not checking this because you haven't smoked it, right?
Yeah.
There's so many ways in which you can just break this up. So for example, you're here, and then you hear a guy in the Molotov, right? Now the if else becomes, do you think he has an opera posted on this angle, or is he alone? If he's alone, swing him and kill him as he's falling out. In a way, you've like forced more decision making on the player and not on the practice, but in a sense, this is an extension of the default, right? Like, I've told my player, I'm going to throw this bit of util, you're going to take the next bit of map control or, like, get the info, right?
Yeah.
Or for example, you throw the molly and he smokes it. Well, now you didn't burn another smoke. You just burned one molly and you got the info for it. And maybe you're still willing to like get flash peeked here, and then you just post here, and then later when your team like smokes there, that's when you just say like, guys, I haven't cleared under porch because they smoked it. Like all that can be done in like steps. It's the same thing as saying like you watch lower level players play and they're like, guys, we're gonna go A, and what they do is they throw like bracket smoke and moto smoke at the same time because they're gonna go A. That's how they know how to do it, right? You have to smoke this side and then you have to smoke moto.
Yeah.
Well, why can't you like take brackets control first and then take A side? So you throw the smoke right here, right? You make it look like you're taking brackets control, which you are, but then you'll set up into A execute. You'll just wait the smoke out. You have to now that changes the way you play. You have to slow down a bit. You maybe need a guy holding this or something like that. But the idea is now you can break up the execute. And honestly, one of the teams I really love watching, and I think it's because of the coach. It's NIP with DJL. He does that stuff a lot. Where like I saw their Inferno A execute basically look like this. One guy gets flashed here, and with this flash, his goal is to get right there. That's it. It's not enter the site or anything. This flash denies pit or like the opper right here. With this flash, he can cross here. He can check this angle. He can just walk up. Again, this could be a defaulter. This is not an execute. The other team can't know this, right? He just checks this angle, and now when they have to do the execute, they have a moto smoke and an like app splash that pops on the box. And then with that, you swing here. And I just think like that's such a sick execute because once you've checked this angle, that flash gets everything else on A site, right? So it's just like instead of saying like we're gonna run through and then as soon as you throw the smoke, I'm gonna throw this flash and I'm just gonna run out, and then I don't know, they throw a molly right on me. I can just break it up, throw one flash, maybe the CTs get antsy and throw their molly too early. Or maybe they say like, hey, they're not executing, and they never throw the molly and I'm already in their face. Like
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. That's yeah, I mean it sounds like you're right. Like that's the most optimal way to play it. Just that like just from hearing you talk about just that execute alone, like, I feel like there's just so many protocols that like if a team were to play the most optimal way, first off you have to have like the players with the right personalities to even accomplish that. Because sometimes you got those quiet motherfuckers who just they just want to be told, let me throw this and kill someone. You know, you got to have the right personality and then you got to have the right amount of time. Because I feel like another problem with a lot of tier 1 CS is that there's like a pressure to like get results right then and there.
Yes.
So it's like they don't have time to actually build something in depth. So but yeah, what you're saying makes a lot of that's interesting. That's really interesting.
And that's something I'd apply to you in the sense that like if you're trying to like you're the type of people who likes to build a system, right? Like just be aware of that distinction that like when it's like when you come up with your own strats, right? Like you have to think of these kind of things, and it just like helps it a lot if you just agree my style is going to be slower, more linear, or my style is going to be more explosive, more util heavy, but then mid rounding around it.
Yeah. Fucking refrag, dude. Oh my god.
By the way, I want to. Okay, I guess like rant over. I'm gonna show a quick sexy flash for the stream, and then I guess I'll head off.
Yeah, let me get in here. Fuck refrag, dude. All right, let's go.
All right, cool. This flash. Oh, I am so surprised it has not caught up on the meta. Again on ecos, amazing flash. So you just come here on the waist spin, and then you're just gonna aim right there on that flower, right? You're gonna run as far as you can and just jump throw, and this flash pops right here in mid. And it basically is like an arch flash, right? So you can use it to flash off an opper, or you know if you have a smoke here, it just becomes like a standard mid flash that you can use while your teammates are here. Flash pops and they just like run through this, and they can like explode here. So on an eco or on like an A rush kind of strat, this flash right here is pretty good. Now the reason I came up with this flash was I used to watch like old Astralis demos, and they had like a protocol where if Glaive got the call that like there's an opper who's peeking down mid round for no reason, right? Like Dupree would be right here, just jumping about, and he's like, I heard a scope or something. Then their response would be there'd be a guy who'd just throw like a flash, like something like this, and then like that guy would try to punish that opper for being caught off guard. Like he'd not peek here, he'd peek all the way up till here to hunt that opper down. Right?
Yeah.
So I basically thought like, is there a way to throw this flash where you can throw it really up in their face without being exposed? And this is why I love this flash. You're never like the opper can't spot you, even if they're looking down there. You can throw this flash. I had like a A rush play built around this. So you just aim, you stand right here, aim at that like a red patch, you run until you're right above the shadow and jump throw, and that becomes like the porch flash that people use. And then if you combine that with like the people used to call this the ROPS flash or whatever, right? The one that like pops for like arch side. right here, you basically can flash brackets and do like some kind of rush. So I had like a rush strat where you throw smokes here, you throw a molly in here and a molly here. I say this as a guy who's like, oh, util dumpsters are boring, and I was like, here's how you do a rush strat right now. Yeah, but basically this is a rush strat, and then you have flashes popping off here. Really sick rush strat. People love their like arch trap rushes at the start of the round, so I had to make my own for that.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. We might implement that shit because we do need some rushes. We're still working on Inferno. I was gonna say one thing before you go. So you're talking about like, so you're saying that's like the right thing to do is like the system based stuff, right? Like in-depth theory.
And it's my preference, right? Like right or wrong, like who am I? I'm fucking face at level 10 and not even I D-ranked lately, right? Like someone can just say like, who the fuck is Wraith to know like what's the right way to play CS? Yeah. It's just what I wish more people would do, and I think is more successful for people who want to think and build a system rather than just like get results immediately. Yeah.
Okay, and that's like kind of what we're doing. So do I got like the Wraith stamp of approval?
Sure, yeah. No, dude, I really appreciate it because when people like think about the util, that's already like that's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Like so many people don't need to be told what to do with util. So in my eyes, already most of the IGLs know what they're doing, and it's kind of cool. But yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, I really enjoy like your content and like approach to this. So yeah,
appreciate that. Keep it up. Yeah, thank you. That's kind of been like the goal for this season is like kind of like what you said. It was like everyone's just like, yo, just know this util set, throw it, and let's go. Like that type of stuff. That's how I kind of used to play. I was saying earlier, it's like too many strats, too many like different things, just too many set plays and stuff. And like this season has really been like, let's just make like a fucking flow chart of our default and like know when to skimp, know when to go heavy, know when to like shit like you're saying, like in-depth protocols and like a lot of audible extension type stuff that we can adapt on the fly, like what you're saying. So that's sick. That's sick hearing you talk about that. Is that cool? Is this a jump spot or something? That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Again, like you don't have to triple molly, right? Like you're just right here. You can of course jump spot this way, but that's like right above the wall. You can jump spot here in this direction.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Save a molly right there.
Out of Nart. Nart basically has everything on there, so you know.
Yeah.
To be fair, Nart showed this first, but also Nart is just copying the pros too. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nart out here meta.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I appreciate you telling me this stuff, man. That's so sick. Like I was like I know I was really quiet during that. That was just because I was like listening like so intently. That was really interesting hearing all that stuff.
Yeah. It makes me feel a bit validated too, because I was like, oh, maybe I'm just rambling. Fucking PhD student just like going on a monologue.
Yeah. No. It made a lot of. I was confused at first, but it made sense the more you talked about it. I was just like, I think I was just confused on the concept of meta because I was under the impression that meta means it's the best play, but meta can also just be that's what everyone's just doing and they play around.
We can make a video on it as a way to like collab. Like we could, like an idea I have is I really want to like find a way to connect with my viewers. So like maybe have like a Q&A where they submit questions on, great, how do I do this thing? Or like, how is this thing done in the meta? I'm struggling with this thing right here. Right?
Yeah.
And that's something where like I can just say, okay, watch this pro do it, and now let me explain and break it down what you aren't doing and what you can learn from this. This is something we can apply on a more team level, and that's exactly what we were talking about right now. Like, how do the pros take like a banana control in the current meta?
Yeah.
And it's like when we watch it, we see all pros are using like 2 Molotovs, 1 smoke, 2 HEs, and stuff like that is like that'd be really fun video, honestly.
Yeah, that would be sick. I would be interested. I would definitely be interested in that.
Yeah.
Some type of Q&A, have people like ask questions in the Discord or something. We could like answer the questions. That would be sick.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I don't mean to cut you off. It's like 1 o'clock. I probably gotta go to bed soon here, but.
And I have to write my thesis, so don't worry about it.
Oh shit! Good luck, dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Thesis.
I'm gonna die this week, but after this, it should be over. So.
Yeah. You graduate?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah.
I'll be Dr. Ray. I should probably add that to my YouTube. Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yo, yeah, you should be Dr. Ray, dude.
Yeah,
CS doc.
I have, you know, like how people make like really cringe reaction content on YouTube, which to be fair, I watch too, so like I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I could make like that, like Doctor reacts to your face it pugs. That'd be so.
Yeah, you gotta have like the stethoscope on your neck and stuff, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Dr. Wraith. All right, dude. I'm gonna head out of here. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah.
You have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too. Yo. Dude, that guy's smart as fuck. Oh my god. Dude, Wraith is smart as shit. I was not expecting that. He's probably in here listening to you. Dude, you're smart as fuck, Wraith. Oh my god. He's like, I'm gonna show you some flashes. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay. He's probably just showing some nades he saw me and then just drops a. That got me thinking, bro. I wasn't even aware of a lot of the stuff he was talking about, especially like the meta type shit like that. That was interesting. That was really interesting. Appreciate you, Wraith, bro. Fuck, dude. He just gave me some content. Get that free content from Wraith. Let's go. That was sick. Fuck. I wish I could talk more. I want to talk about more shit, but I don't know what to talk about. And also, it's 1 o'clock. Fuck, dude. I'm like awake right. I'm so awake right now. I probably should go to bed, dude. I gotta fix my sleep schedule. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here, boys. I'm gonna try and stream more, man. That shit was actually fun. I'm not gonna lie. Another big reason too, I wasn't streaming much, but I was getting like burned out. But as of recently, like something's flipped. I think it's probably mentality change, perspective change, but like I'm like really enjoying the grind again. Like I'm really enjoying working. And like before, I was working out of like negative emotions and like trying like to like because I felt like I wasn't good enough, so I was like going crazy, like workaholic. But now it's like I'm probably working even more than I was before when I was like workaholic and burnt out. But it's because like I actually really enjoy this shit again. Some perspective changes, bro. So I'm like not needing to work because I don't feel good enough because I feel good enough now. Like I don't know, bro. I swear to God, dude. Like literally this past month has just been nothing but W's every single day, like fixing a bunch of shit. And I'm like so excited for the future, bro. Like I'm like I really enjoy the grind again. And it's like I made a lot of videos about workaholism and burnout and like how you need balance. And I still stand by those, but like you can actually push your boundaries of how much you work, like if you have the right mentality and you actually like enjoy what you're doing. So that's why it's like so important that you like, you know, you work on your mentality too and your mental health. Like I don't know what it is, dude. Everything's just a fucking W recently. My aim is a W, the team is a W, the Wraith is a W, the stream's a W, the content's a W. Like everything's just W's, bro. Like I don't know. I'm really excited. I want to stream more. I still want to stream right now, but I definitely need to go to bed. I'm like way too awake right now. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping. I'm gonna try and stream more this week. Bro, we're about to go crazy this season. I feel it, bro. I literally feel it. Like everything is just just every day. There's just so many W's, bro. Just my physique, the gym, the aim, the team. Like everything is just W. Like just so many W's, man. Like oh my god, it actually just feels so good. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stream more, chat. I'm gonna try and stream more. Hopefully, I can. I want to do collabs too. There's a lot of people I'm cool with in this whole content sphere, the CS sphere, but I just never had time to stream with them because I was always burnt out and just wanted to like not think about CS. But I'm like really enjoying this shit again, man. Hold on a second. I can't see the chat. Why is this not showing up? Wraith, lol. Why is it? Why, bro? It's not showing up in the chat right here. Hopefully I didn't miss any other chats. Oh shit! Just move the box. This is where I look for the chats, and sometimes this shit glitches out, and I don't see it. Doesn't pop in the chat. Let me refresh the chat. Maybe they'll fix it. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna try and stream more. End of story. I'm gonna try and stream more. I'm gonna try and get more content in. Good news is my work schedule changed, so I actually get out of work earlier now. I used to get home at like 9 o'clock. We'd practice from 9:15 to like 11:30. I get home most days like 7:30, so we're practicing earlier and we're finishing earlier and we're getting more practice in by doing that. And because we're finishing earlier, I actually have time to stream and people actually be fucking awake when I do stream. So I'm gonna try and stream more after practices. Maybe I can make like a steady set day like Mondays, because Mondays I get home later than normal and I won't be having as much team practice, so I won't be as tired. So maybe I'll make Mondays like a steady stream day or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try and work it out. This show was like genuinely enjoyable, bro. So many W's. Like I don't know, just such a good. It's just good right now, man. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, y'all. Thank y'all for sticking by the stream. Hopefully you learned something. Wraith dropped a bunch of bombs. That was crazy. Dr. Wraith, bro. Monday pug streams. I could do something like that. Actually, yeah, maybe afterwards I'd have energy for it. We finished at like 10:30. We only played like one match, so something like that. Just streaming more in general, just plugging or content, talking about stuff. So I'm gonna head out though. Peace out, y'all. See you guys soon.